Yeah, I want to show where the blood electrification ankle points are. This is for the Beck design, Dr. Robert Beck, PhD, physicist, PhD, not a doctor, medical doctor, but designed off of medical doctor patents that were researched out the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City, and basically in the 90s, early 90s. Patents were 92 and 93. Actually, there's a bunch of patents that are all referencing this stuff, but blood electrification's been around a long time in one form or another. But this is the actual point where you would do it if you're using it on the ankles, where you get a lot more blood flow. So here's your ankle bone, right here. And between your ankle bone and the back of your heel, back of your ankle, is where the blood pulsing is. Actually, you could practically see blood. You know, you can see a vein right here, and it goes right up into here. So I put these are stainless steel strips. Actually, if you look at them, it's a stainless steel strip that's inside a denim cloth that is wet with saline solution or tap water, so it conducts electricity. Now, the other thing I do sometimes, I don't really have a problem when my skin gets irritated, but if you feel like your skin gets red or anything, use coconut oil. Just put a little bit, a couple drops right down there, and that should help it too. Now, this is a device designed by a guy in Ecuador who's an American. He used to be American, I guess. I'll post a link, and actually this is an all-in-one. This is actually two-purposes device, but I like the way his devices are designed. You see, actually what I do is I have one on each ankle, see? So the wire goes from one side to the other, right? And there's two wires, right? And then they connect into this device. And this device is going to complete a circuit. So I'll turn it down and turn it on. You notice red light starts coming on a little bit. It's making a little bit of conductivity. And as you turn it up, the red light gets brighter. And this is on 10 megahertz, 10 hertz, excuse me, 10 hertz, not megahertz, hertz. And as you turn it up, it goes off because it gets outside the range as designed in the patent. And actually this is 130 to 250 microamps. So when you have this like that at the red light, you're getting it right at, I don't know, say around 190 microamps, which is right in the specification of the patent for Dr. Kaali and Lyman that they performed on work for blood electrification, which is said not to actually kill viruses per se. It might do a little bit of that, I'm not sure, but the patent doesn't state anything about killing viruses and bacteria and pathogens. It states in the patent that it causes disruption of the outer protein wall layer of the virus, which causes it not to be able to infect new healthy cells and thus replicate. So that's the patent. So, but you know, when you're pulsing this electricity through the ankle points, you're getting a hell of a lot more blood than you are through the arms. You know, I generally use the arms and work out though at the same time, so you get a lot of blood that way. And what I do with this thing is I turn it up till I feel it like zapping a little bit, then I back it off, and as this water dries up on these things, it goes into the range because there's more resistance to get through this. It goes through the range where the conductivity between ankle point to ankle point gets in this red range, where the red light goes on, the red range. Where the light goes on, which is, 130 microamps to 250 microamps. That's how I do it. But you get a lot more, right, Putin? You're going to get pulse, you're going to be cat pulsers. Anyway. Yeah, someday in the future, they're going to have microelectricity for cats. And your pets are going to be living to be like as old as Moses, like an alien or some shit. But I'm going to actually point out something else. I don't know how true this is, just as a point of interest. But I read in the papers when they were experimenting with this blood electrification stuff, if they were doing it for 18 to 24 hours a day, that's a lot, right? Basically, you're wearing it all the time. After 30 days, when they looked at your blood under the microscope, there was like no pathogens in it, none. That's the claim. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's. I tell you the truth, considering if it were depending on who did it, I would believe it more or less. But considering that it was top-notch doctors that first did this stuff, and now it's one of those conspiracy theories, if you want to call it. Actually, I think this is actually probably legit because, I could see the common sense angle behind it. Because say this worked, you just put most of the pharmaceutical industry out of business. But it's weird. A lot of people just won't do it. I don't know why. But it should be made where you got this thing on you, and it should be like, a couple, you could walk around with it somehow. It'd be a lot easier. That'd be cool. But anyway, I got this product down from dragonfly75.com down in Ecuador, and I'll point you to the link. And he's got some cool stuff, man. This is a cool design. Actually, though, what I do is I turn it up where the light goes off, and I feel it like zapping a little bit. Then I back it off and I leave it right there. Then as the electrodes dry out, you'll see the light colors coming on. So actually I get it like a full range of zapping that way. But it's better to do the ankles. I don't like doing the ankles because it's a pain. That's the part I don't like about it. Because you can't move around with them unless there's a way to set that up. But we might come up with something like that later. But assuming this thing works as designed, the 24 hours a day, 18 to 24 hours a day for 30 days, and you have blood that's like pure clean of all pathogens, and I'm just saying what it's stated. Doctors could say it's bullshit, but I don't know if it is bullshit. Viruses are pretty puny, and bacteria is fairly puny too. So a little electricity could do a lot of damage to a virus, which is maybe it's maybe 1,000. They're different sizes, but maybe it's 1,000 times smaller than a human cell. So it's not enough to kill the virus, but enough to screw it up so it can't penetrate cells and thus replicate. That's the whole way the patent stated. It's not saying it actually kills the pathogens, but I don't know. There's claims out there that say it actually does some of that too, but that's not really what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to keep it from infecting new healthy cells and thus replicating. But the other thing is they said after the 30 days of doing this 18 to 24 hours a day. Now I've been doing this for years, for like 2 to 5 or more hours a day, and it sure as hell doesn't seem like it hurt me. So I'll say that. That's from my own personal experience. Not trying to make a claim, but that's my experience for real. I've been using this thing every day for years, 2 to 5 hours. And the other thing is, but the other claim is, like when you do this 18 to 24 hours a day for like 30 days, if they keep your blood from drying out, and they take it under a microscope, they put it between 2 glass plates and the blood doesn't dry out, they keep it from drying out. 30 days later, the blood's still alive. And normal blood dies out in like 3-4 days. That's why they call it immortal blood. So, who the hell knows? But, I can't, let me put it this way. I can't freaking say all these conspiracy theories are accurate, because I think most of them are bullshit. But my senses, I'll just say it that, just consider, and it's not just senses, it's going by very prestigious place that did this discovery, very prestigious doctors. There's like, some people say it works. Now, I think the main reason, like to say there's like various results. I think the main reason it may not work, assuming it does work, assuming it works, let's make the assumption it works. The main reason it would not work on a certain person is that they're not zapping enough blood. So the ankle pulse points and ankle to ankle is the way to really get the most blood. Using the same wrist, like if you put it on your wrist, you go like each wrist point, you might not be getting enough blood. Now Dr. Beck supposedly got great results using the same wrist. But then, even though he's not a medical doctor, he probably positioned those electrodes exactly right and set it exactly right where he was getting a zapping into the bloodstream. I'm making an assumption, but that may be the case. Maybe that's why the results vary. But this is the ankle point. It's behind the ankle bone. It's like halfway between the ankle bone and the back of the heel, back of the ankle. And, when you're using this device designed by Mike Forrest, I don't think you can go wrong. It's probably best to turn it up where it's more in a high range, and as the electrodes dry out, it gets right in the middle, so you're getting that whole range that was used by Dr. Lyman and Dr. Kaali in the New York Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City, where they discovered this. So, it's amazing that people don't do this, though. They'll say it's bullshit. I don't know if it's bullshit. I don't know. I have a feeling it's not bullshit. More than that, not just a feeling. I think it's too good. And assuming even if it works partly, you just put a lot of pharmaceuticals out of business, right? That's why I think it works. So who knows?